So let us start by talking about the different types. So like I said, in human design, there are 2 billion different configurations. So we are all so wildly unique, but at the highest level, there are 5 different types. There are manifesting generators, projectors, manifestors, and reflectors. We have every type represented today, which is amazing. Caroline's one of my reflector clients, so thank you so much for inviting me and introducing me to Collab. So basically, manifesting generators and generators are here to kind of be the creators, the builders, the doers. They have this amazing life force and energy that are here to kind of build and create and make things happen. For both generators and manifesting generators, you guys are designed to kind of wake up in the morning with a full tank of energy, to use up your energy in super satisfying ways throughout the day, and then kind of crash and wake up recharged. If you haven't fully exhausted your tank, you might go to bed and feel like pretty depleted, or even just like restless because you haven't even used up your energy in ways that feel good. I was with a client in San Francisco recently, and she shared that sometimes she'll go to bed and ask her boyfriend to wrestle with her because she's like, I just haven't gotten out my energy today and I have to get it out. So you kind of got to make it your job to use up your energy in super satisfying ways throughout the day. And often generators and manifesting generators both have so many lessons to learn around boundaries. Because you have such amazing vitality and life force and energy, people can really want to take advantage of it. And not in a malicious way, but it's like, can you handle this for me? Can you do this thing? Can you do this? And so as much as you can, knowing that the more you commit your energy to things that you are genuinely lit up and excited by, the more energy you'll have and the more kind of you will uplift everyone around you. The more you're doing things just because you think you should or because somebody asked you, the quicker your battery drains. So I would encourage both types to just really reflect, what are the aspects of your life right now that light you up the most, whether it's parts of work or hobbies or relationships, like can you funnel more and more energy into those things, even if you don't know exactly how you're going to make money off of it immediately? And what are the things that feel the most draining, the most depleting, the most exhausting? Can you take your energy out of any of those things? And so the difference here between the two is that manifesting generators are multi-passionate by nature and are not meant to do just one thing. These people are my clients that are like, I'm a mom, I own a dance studio, I'm a podcast host, I'm a coach, I'm a lawyer. Like they're just all the things that is their magic. And so often they've been made to feel scattered or like they're doing too much, but they actually need that level of kind of stimulation to be successful and excited. And they often move so quickly. They're very gifted at bringing things to life very quickly, but in doing so, they can skip a few steps along the way. So it's really always good to kind of be supported by people that can handle the step-by-step process so they can kind of be in their powerful and creative flow. And generators are more about mastery, kind of really going deep, and then when it's time, moving on. So this strategy, and then I'll see if you guys have any questions on either type, but the strategy for generators and manifesting generators is to let life come to you. The idea is that you guys are magnetic. You guys are not meant to chase after anything. Life is meant to come to you, and your work is to kind of keep your awareness open and see what activates your gut response. As soon as you get the gut response, like that's the permission to kind of initiate and make something happen, but not kind of initiating before it's time or before you're ready. So I'd be curious for you guys to reflect on whether or not you feel like you trust that magnetism and trust that things are coming to you, or whether or not you guys feel like you do more of the initiating. Let me know if you guys have any questions on the generators or manifesting generators, and if not, we will move on to the projectors. Any questions? Cool. Make sense? Okay, great. So let's talk about our projectors. So projectors, the lead guys, the advisors, the teachers, they're not here to really do all the doing. And so much of being a projector is really being kind of tuned into other people's energy, naturally sensitive, and kind of guiding other people by asking the right questions. So often, like as projectors, I know me personally, I was like always trying to keep up in a world of so many generators and so many manifesting generators. And it's really about trusting that your worth is not in how hard you're working or how much you're doing, but really in your perspective and the way that you see the world. And projectors tend to love systems. They love anything that kind of helps them better understand people. I shared my kind of exploration of systems before human design. Anything that could help me better understand people was exactly what I was drawn to. And so much of being a projector is learning how to honor the ebbs and flows of your energy, leveraging the energy when it's there and resting when it's not, and not kind of overdoing things or becoming overzealous. And so the strategy for us as projectors is basically waiting for a sense of recognition and invitation. Because you bring such a unique and different energy to the table, it is so important to feel so deeply recognized and invited in. And so, it doesn't apply to everything. Like you don't need an invitation to like study a system or move to a new city. But when it involves like sharing your gifts with someone, working with someone, living with someone, dating someone, that's where that invitation and recognition piece is so key. I think as an entrepreneur, when I first found this out, I was like, how do I build a business waiting for an invitation? And I learned that so much of my job as a projector is basically about making myself visible and available so that people can find me. So rather than kind of reaching out to specific companies or people, like my work is to just share so broadly about what I do and let the right people come to me, whether it's through Instagram or newsletters or any of the things. But it does require a first step of recognizing yourself. Of standing so tall in your value and you're like, I know my worth and I'm going to stand tall in this. And like, I'm going to wait for the people to actually see me and invite me in to share it. Let me know if there are any questions from our projector people, if that resonates. I know that I was very conditioned to operate like a generator prior to learning human design, and it's really been a journey stepping into this. Margarita said, I don't know my birth time. Is there any way to still get my design without that information? So, one thing I would recommend for you is, today you could just like try noon if you like, but often when clients, this is the case for clients, we'll kind of go through a few different times throughout the day and just see how much it shifts. Sometimes it's a lot, sometimes it's not so much. So we can kind of identify the pieces that really do remain consistent. Projector sounds like we need to network, we need support. We are not meant to do it all on our own. I think that for me, I've always had a generator or manifesting generator business partner. It's absolutely not required, but that has made all the difference for me. Any projector questions? If not, let's talk about our manifestors. So yeah, I would just, pick a time, maybe noon today, and then after you can maybe start to explore, if you can't find a birth certificate or anything like that, kind of explore how it changes throughout the day. So if you are a manifestor, it basically means that you are really here to kind of be the one to initiate and get things started, get the ball rolling, light the fire, get it started, but not always here to do all the doing yourself. And so, whether it comes to dating or business, it's really good for you to kind of make the first move. Often manifestors need a lot of freedom, autonomy, and control. They're really not here to be told what to do or managed or guided in any way, very much here to do things on their own terms and in their own way. They can sometimes struggle a little bit in corporate environments if they feel super confined. So often they thrive in a more entrepreneurial path, or if they're just given freedom. It's like, this is your domain, do what you please, let us know how it goes. Often manifestors are pretty comfortable with solitude and love being kind of left alone to do what they please. And they also are very naturally innovative and kind of see the future and feel like everyone else is just like a little bit behind the times. And so the strategy for manifestors is basically around initiating. Like I said, they're here to make the first move, whether it comes to dating or business or any of the things, but also around informing. And so what I mean by informing is that it's really important to kind of keep the people around them in the loop of what they're choosing and when. So like, be like, I'm coming home late, I'm going this direction with this project, whatever it is. Keeping people informed and in the loop often allows them to feel so much more at ease and so much more at peace. A really simple example, I have a client whose husband is a manifestor and their son is a projector. And basically when the husband leaves the room and doesn't inform the son will start freaking out. But if he's like, I'm leaving the room, I'm going upstairs, the son's like totally relaxed. And so informing is not about asking for permission. It's not about explaining yourself. It is literally just giving people a heads up before you kind of fly and go do your thing. And also one last piece I would share about manifestors is that while they're here to initiate, they're not always here to do all the doing, like I said. So knowing kind of when to hand things off and move on to the next thing. And they are energy beings. They've got all this powerful creative energy, but their energy does operate in ebbs and flows. So leveraging that creative energy when it's there and resting when it's not. Let me know if there are any manifestor questions. If not, I'll move on to our reflector. So reflectors are about 1% of the population. So it's always so nice to have a reflector around. Reflectors are really here kind of our collective mirrors. These are people that are very sensitive to their physical environment and basically kind of always in their mirror. So you really get a good sense of like how a community is doing or a team is doing by how a reflector is showing up, because they're kind of magnifying it. If the community is feeling really good, they're probably going to feel amazing. If it's not, they're probably going to feel it too. And so it's so important for reflectors to kind of be ruthless curators of who and where they're spending time. Reflectors are very fluid in their identity. They might have periods where they feel like a generator, like a manifesting generator, like a projector, like a manifestor. So much of their work is embracing all of who they are and not trying to be just one thing. And in the context of business, we call these people evaluators because their perspective is so objective and unique and useful. And so it's always so important for kind of reflectors to feel really invited in to share their perspective. And the strategy for reflectors is a little bit similar to projectors, where it's really good to kind of feel invited in and feeling fully recognized before they engage with something. And then the last piece I would share is just that it's so important for reflectors to really find balance between kind of being with people and being alone. They're so sensitive to other people's energy. So taking plenty of time alone to kind of just release all that energy that's not theirs.